Well, to give a little update on my deer situation, I did not bring every Ford hook gem back to my house. Like I said, I left a few over here that were still hooked to the vines, but I figured they weren't going to last long. And here's one of them now. Here's one of them now. So I've pretty much determined, with the help of my viewers, that it's probably deer doing this. That looks like deer scat, and I know it looks like deer tracks. I was just kind of confused because of the behavior of kind of throwing all those cantaloupes in a pile. I don't know. To me, that just sounded like a raccoon, but it could easily be a deer, and I think it is. Right here, I had left, you can see what's left of the vine there. There were about 3 Ford hook gems that were still hooked to that vine. And so I just left them here because I thought, well, you know, they're not ready, I know that, and he didn't pull them off the vine, so why not just leave them? But they came back and got them last night. This is Friday, June 17th, so they came back and got them last night. For some reason, they didn't eat that one. They didn't eat that one, but it's pulled up out of the ground. It's just sitting there. Don't know why they decided not to eat that one, but they didn't. So that officially is now the last of my Ford hook gems. They're done. So far, they have left this Desert King watermelon that I had discovered by just a volunteer that popped up. So far, they have left it alone. I followed the vine all the way to the root that goes in the ground, and it's still attached. And they don't seem to be eating this vine yet. Though, I don't mean to be pessimistic, but I have no hope. I feel like it'll be next, and that watermelon is not near being ready. What they're doing now is they're just coming along and wholesale eating all the greenery, all the leaves, off of everything. This is my cucumber row, and they're just having a buffet bar with it. All the leaves are gone off my cucumbers. For some reason they didn't eat this, but I'm just telling you, in general, they're gone. All the leaves are gone. They'll leave a little bit for some reason. I don't know if they get spooked and run off, but they'll leave a little bit. But the rest, they had for a late night snack. I walked over here to my watermelons, and I have a good many. Sometimes it may not look like I have a lot, but they're all up in the grass. I have a good many, and I walked over here and I was like, well, at least they're not eating all my watermelon vines. It just didn't seem that they were. I'm looking around and it's just vine after vine after vine. But of course, there's watermelons all up in there, and these particular ones are nowhere near being ready. There's another one there. As I have continued to look, of course, I'm starting to see that they're over here munching too. Sorry, let me get down to where I can show you. They're over here munching too. For some reason, they just haven't completely annihilated the watermelons yet. I don't know if they are aware that they're almost ripe and they'd rather eat the melons. I don't know. But you can see all the little nubs. You can see the nubs. So they are over here. 4 nubs. They're starting. It's starting. I won't have any watermelon vines left here shortly. A few of these I could probably grab, like that one there. The tendril is completely brown and dried up. I was just gonna leave it a little bit I guess I'm under the illusion I still have some control, even though these deers are really in control. The illusion was I wanted to leave it a little bit because we did get a little sprinkle rain last night that lasted for a little while. And you don't really want to harvest your melons right after a rain. It's best to harvest them when it's dry. See, there's melons all up in my grass. The footage I showed the other day just didn't really convey that, but there's melons everywhere. But I didn't really want to harvest until they were ready and it had been dry a few days and then pull them off. But I'm kind of running the risk now of just walking out here and finding them half eaten, or them eating all my vines during the night, which is what's going on. And all the work that the plant does to give itself nutrients and all is just going to be cut off. And I'll have to harvest them anyway. So I may be getting a few melons out of here in a few days. They may not be where I want them to be, but I guess if I can just get some enjoyment out of them just for my family, that would be great. That would be great. So that's the status on this garden. Well, update here at the last second. Here's about a 3-inch round Fort Hook gem that I found in the grass on the edge of the garden, and it is still hooked to a vine that, if I follow it, is still in the ground. And so I technically have one that they haven't discovered. So maybe, just maybe, I'll end up with one Fort Hook gem. Just maybe. Hold on a second. Here's 2. Okay, and this, okay, I don't know if you can see, but this is the vine they're on, and it goes in the ground. However, there is another vine from another plant right here, and it's been eaten off. You can see, like, that's been chewed on. So they were over here. But this vine with these little 2 on it are still there. You can see chew damage there. Oh, they've been around it. They've been around it. But somehow I missed this, and somehow I still have 2 hiding in the grass on this plant. So we shall see. We shall see. Okay. I'm up here in my upper garden this morning, and yes, this is a garden. The weeds have taken it over. I've just about given up on it because it's so depressing, and it's been so hot. And guess what? That was just the intro to our heat, come to find out. Next week, they're calling for some major heat. This is Saturday, June 18th. Starting Monday, I think, every day is going to be like 99, building up to steady 100 degrees by the end of the week, which we've had one day that was 100 already. But next week is supposed to be every day. It's not going to be 95. It's going to be 99 and everything every day of the week, with heat indexes higher than that. So I'm just getting out here this morning. It's about 6:45. And I'm just going to start doing what I can by the littles. I'm just going to start taking one section at a time and weeding and just trying to recoup and bring back to life whatever I can. These Italian heirloom tomatoes, even though they're kind of leaned over on the fence, they have loaded themselves back down with tomatoes all up in there. And I've just been letting them go. I've really just been letting them go because it's just so hard to get motivated to fight these gardens right now. And but I'm going to come out here today. That's what I'm doing this morning. And I'm just going to try to see what all I can get done each day before 9 o'clock. I'll have to get out here even earlier than this. There's actually tomatoes all on that. That's a shame that I've left it. That's a shame that I've not cleaned that up. These are speckled purple hull peas that have not yet set pods, and they'll give me some type of yield, but I have, the weeds have just taken over. So I'm going to focus on them next too. Whatever will give me something, I've got to get out here and get cleaned up. I just cannot keep letting it go like this. And it's just been a matter of energy, time, and just feeling like it's a lost cause, but I can't do that. I've got to get going. This row isn't so overgrown as some of the other rows. This is my squash, but it had gotten so hot and everything that the squash had just stopped. But now I walked out here this morning and I'm seeing some squash. So I'm gonna get out here. There's a couple more under there. So I'm gonna get out here and pick those and just try to get myself back on my feet. Some of the things that depress me, I'm pulling out of here. If they're just done, then I'm done with them. I'm just gonna be pulling them out. And the things that have hope, the things that can still, some of these purple hull peas, things like that I'm still getting some things off of, I'm gonna give a little more of my time. I'm gonna do what I can. I'm gonna borrow my sister and brother-in-law's push mower and just push mow the middle of these rows. I tell you what, it's kind of like getting a little haircut that you like or something like that. Once you kind of get some of these weeds out of here, you just feel like a different person. So that's what I'm gonna do. My Mexico midget, they're actually loaded down with little tomatoes, but they're not growing like they were. And the ones that are there have been there for 2 weeks, and I'm done with them. I'm just, it's too much. I can't, believe it or not, all my cherry tomatoes, every one of them are still kind of going, but I just can't keep up with it. I just can't keep up with it, and I'm just giving myself the grace to go ahead and pull some of this stuff out of here, and that's okay. It'll be all right. Believe it or not, like these pole beans here, now they look terrible. Look at all that on there, crunchy, 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 dead. That's fine. But if you get closer, they've actually kind of started coming back at the bottom. They were not looking this green and healthy at the bottom a few days ago. Now I don't know how they're going to do in the heat that's coming up, but they're starting to look green again. And if I can just get over here and pull some of these weeds out, maybe cut down some of this brown stuff and just give them a little chance. Just give them a little chance. I know as I'm showing you this, you're probably thinking, oh my God, look at our garden. Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. But if I just take it by the littles, like I said, and get over my mental block of exhaustion and defeat, I could probably shape it. I'm only going to focus on this garden. The deer just got the other one. If I get some melons, great. If I don't get melons, I'm going to be upset, but oh well. I'm just going to try to do what I can, and I'm going to focus on this upper garden and a couple of things in my lower garden, and just try to finish out this year at least with a couple of spots that are doing good. So that's my goal. Quick video this morning. There's still beauty. There's still beauty. Look at these flowers that are doing so good. There's still beauty. And you know what? I'm just going to try to focus on the beauty and do what I can with the other, and be happy for the harvest that I've gotten, be happy for the sales that I've gotten, and just do the best I can. That's all any of us can do. Okay, so I didn't want to leave on a depressive note. I got out here at 6:45. It's a little after 8 now, and I have managed to do a lot. I tore out some big weeds. I don't even know what those are. They look like marigold plants, but they're not. I tore those out, and I completely weeded all around these peppers. Got a little basil right there that I had completely forgotten I planted. And it had flowers, it was going to seed, so I plucked those seeds off, weeded around all these peppers, and they're still putting off peppers. So I had just kind of let them go and was getting down about how it all looked, but they're still viable. I cleared out all of this right here. This was where my tomatillo plant was and everything, which I explained to you that I just learned I needed 2 tomatillo plants to even have one grow, and I only had one. So I just went ahead and got rid of that. And now I'm skipping this section. I did put all the cucumber vines up on the flower bed so that when we do mow the middle, the rows, the aisles rather, that they won't get crushed. I did do that. But I skipped this section because I really wanted to get down here and work on my tomato section. And now that I can kind of see those cucumber vines, they're still there. They're still there. I was just getting so depressed. Here's my Italian heirloom tomatoes. I staked them up a little better, and they just have so many tomatoes up in there. So many tomatoes. I don't know if you can see them good on camera because they're green, but they're everywhere, and they'll be turning red. They'll be coming around. It's kind of like the second wave. I got all this weeded, and the same thing down here with all these. And some of these are already hinting at blushing. There's plenty of tomatoes on here. Got all the weeds out around that, staked them up. I do need to prune them, but I need to go inside and get my other pruning shears to do that. I've got little piles of mess behind the fence here to clean up, but I can load that on the back of the four-wheeler and just go take it to our burn pile. I know a lot of people might be saying, no, put that on your compost. Well, I don't have a compost anymore. And I have some news coming up, some different things I want to talk about coming up, about some changes in our life, and a compost pile just doesn't fit into it right now. I'm not teasing. I just will let that be on a video on its own, and I have to think a few things out before I discuss it, but we're going to be talking about it soon. So anyway, on to the next thing. Really basically 2 big sections here, 2 20-foot, 15, 20-foot sections. I don't know what they are. Got those done. I feel better. It gives me some hope. I'm going to pick this squash that's all of a sudden come up over here, and we're going to try to put the best foot forward. I'm going to really try. I'm going to get my mind back in it, work early in the morning, and just let the heat have it during the day. That's all I can do. And we're going to get it shaped back up, and at least this garden here is going to go through the fall. I'm just determined. I will not let this beat me. Garden girl up, get your mind back in it, get going, and get her done. Thank you. This is Lainey at Camp Joy Farms. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.